Buonasera, good evening. It is like 8:05 p.m. or something like that over here, and we've got a special treat today. Somebody's just handed me code free. They've graciously contributed a sizable change to my open source library, VTS-Sharp, the thing that makes lots of VTube Studio plugins get up and go. So this individual, for some reason, really wants the various calls that you can make in this API to be blocking, i.e., even though they don't happen synchronously because they ping out to the VTube Studio application and wait for a response and then write back, they want them to be blocking in that the plugin can't proceed until it gets a response. They say that this is the callback pattern that I've implemented is not something that is commonly used in modern .NET projects, which is probably true. I was thinking in terms of JavaScript and promises when I built this thing, which is a fair complaint. The other thing that they bring up is WebSocket-Sharp, the third-party library that I'm using to get WebSocket connection to VTube Studio. They say is not compatible with any .NET version, including and above .NET Core 1.0, released in 2016. This is interesting to me because I use the same version of WebSocket-Sharp that VTube Studio itself uses. I do this for compatibility reasons. And there is no example plugin for non-Unity projects. That's also a fair complaint. This one is really what surprised me, though. I cannot imagine that this is not compatible, but I don't really have a way to prove it. So their pull request here introduces support for async await, which is the way of making a asynchronous call blocking in all public asynchronous methods and functions. And this is in addition to the callback pattern that we already have, so it's not breaking. This is a huge bonus. Big ups to them. So an example would be, with the callback pattern, you get current model, and you'd say your result does success function, error does error function. What they want is result, just await, get current model, and so this will return the same data type as the success function here. And I believe they have it set to throw an exception in place of the error. So that's cool. Adding a native .NET WebSocket implementation for .NET Core, .NET 5.6.7 without introducing any new dependencies, that's cool. But I think we tried this already. That was the very first thing I tried, and it just straight up was not stable. Maybe they figured out where I went wrong, and they added a plugin. Disclaimer, I haven't tested this Unity, only outside of Unity. So this seems good. Now we're gonna, I guess, try it though. So let's go into Unity. And off the browser, there we are. And I need to pull down their code, which I have done. Oops. Wrong. Unity open. There we go. Oh, actually, before I do that, let me make sure that I don't have any uncommitted changes. Okay, cool, I did not. Ooh, but I do need to get... Okay. Sorry about that, just need to make sure I didn't have anything that I was about to get into a conflict with. So now the question is, does this compile? We're about to find out. No. It does not. Why? That doesn't make any sense. Okay, we're gonna find out why this doesn't compile. There we are. Okay, so what does .NET like here? New read-only memory byte. Namespace read-only memory could not be found. Okay. This is for a WebSocket implementation. Okay. So let's split this, because I tried something like this already with this guy. How did they resolve this issue? How do they make this good? If we go to the top for both of these, we've got our concurrent queue. We have our client WebSockets. Oh, that's interesting. They've got a nullable. I don't know why this would ever be nullable, but okay. We've got our actions on connect, on disconnect. We have our intake queue and response queue. Theirs takes a string. Oh, that's mine, and then mine takes an array segment instead of an action. That's interesting. Also, hi Panko, by the way, I didn't say hello. Nice to see you. Nice to see you. So, what does theirs do differently? Because mine was just not stable. Alright, looks the same. Intake queue, receive queue is the same. Send queue. Now there's an action. That's interesting. I'll have to see why. Okay. To go find get next response. Intake queue. Out data. Return response. This is such alien syntax to me. Yeah, this music is from Lupin the Third. This is a mixtape by a YouTube user named Pizza Freet, and the mixtape is called "With All Due Respect, You're Insane." That's good. The wonderful, wonderful stylings of one Yuji Ono. Okay, so that's the same. They've got their tick function. I guess they define all of this inline in their start function. I'm gonna give it a shot here. I just don't know. They say read-only memory cannot be found. I don't know what a sufficient substitute for this would be. Can I just do array segment? Like that? Is that okay? What if this isn't nullable? I don't think that should be nullable. What's the other problems complaining about? God, the syntax on here is so strange to me. What if that's not nullable? It likes that. Okay. Cool, I guess. So now if I go to like my example Unity plugin. Wow, okay, so this is new. It didn't used to tell me that name can be simplified and stuff like that. So if I go here and I replace this with new, what do we call it? WebSocket Net Core implementation. Does this just work? Also, does the rest of this compile? No. I still have compilation errors. But where? Show me the compilation errors, because this looks like this compiles to me. Yeah, so according to this, we still have a bunch of compiler errors, but according to my IDE, we don't. I'm not really sure what it wants me to do here. The other question is, I guess, what version of Unity am I even... Or not what version of Unity, what, like, is my language that I'm targeting here? How do I even figure that out? Player settings, maybe? Script execution order... Player? .NET Standard 2.0. Scripting backend is mono. Just don't understand. Now if I... Okay, so 36 is what they're complaining about. Oh, okay. I see. Okay. It's gonna be like line by line here. Why would someone... So, okay, this is perplexing syntax to me. What they mean here is socket.state. This is so confusing. What else? I've never seen the syntax before, where you say you've got your result and then do is as shorthand for buffer. How many times do we have is in here? Okay, just one more time. I don't know what this is trying to say. Does this mean is null? Or is empty? I want that. Alright, how many more compiler errors we got? Oh, nice. Is that it? Can I try and run this now? Okay. So just a little bit of fancy syntax that I didn't like. So now if I go to my example scene, does it still work, is the question. So we go to VTS-Sharp, examples, Unity, scenes, here, fire this bad boy up. No, it does not. Okay, so it's saying the socket is null. And why is that? Socket should never be null. Where is socket even defined? Okay. I guess that's why they had it as nullable before, that makes sense. But Unity doesn't like that. Like, I can't just do that. Or, sorry, it was like that, right? Unity doesn't like that, I don't think. Yeah, the typed WebSocket client must be non-nullable. We're going to use generic parameter t. Yeah, okay. Can I do a null coalescing operator? No, it still doesn't like that. I guess that's why they were using the is thing before also, but that just is not valid syntax in the level of Unity that we're using here. So, how do we make this fit? How do we make these pieces fit together? I guess it would just be like that. Wow, that's not how you spell null at all. No. Guess you just do it the old-fashioned way. Okay, it says socket open, but I don't believe it. I don't think it did. Yeah, hold on. VTube Studio does not think... Wait. All plugins are connected. It says 4 plugins are connected, but I don't think that's true. And my example plugin does not think is connected. Oh, also, I should be popping that back up. Yeah, this does not... This is not going. Did I break it, or is it like that? Is what I want to know. It says setting port. Okay, it's a known port. Attempt to connect. Socket open. Socket to me here. When in doubt, add log lines. Oh, right, null. Okay, we're just getting tons of null responses back, which means I probably broke something here. The responses are always null, so they're not getting handled, which means we're not able to do our authentication handshake. Why? Why? Fix it. Oh, I didn't hit save. I'm dumb. There we go. Okay, allow. There we go. Okay, we connected. still getting tons of nulls? We are. So that's something I need to check. That's fine, I can do that. Can I tint myself? I can. Okay, that works. Okay. So the problem was I just didn't dumb down this code in the right way, because I just didn't understand what the syntax does, and Unity didn't either. So let's see if we can stop getting those nulls also. Wait, no, the nulls are fine. The nulls are not actually entering the queue, as far as I can tell. Because the nulls are just when we're trying to pop stuff off the... God, where is anything? Where was it? Oh god. In our DQ. Where is it? Yeah, okay, here. Hello. How's it going? I shouldn't still be purple. Okay, good. It went away. Oh, I think the socket isn't closing gracefully either, perhaps. That's interesting. Eidolon, we are currently reviewing a pull request. I got, where is it? Right here. Guy wants to make this library more compatible with stuff outside of Unity. The problem is Unity is a very, very fickle beast. So... I guess I can leave some comments. I'm not really sure what the right way, the polite way to go about doing this is, because it's like... Unity just doesn't allow for this. I guess I can just start leaving comments. And then what was the other stuff we had to change? Not valid syntax in... Not, long-term support. .NET 2.0 standard. Getting... Okay. So there's that. Where was the other thing that we had to change? Something else in here was also listed as nullable, and I just didn't like that. Nullable. What did I say it was? Property? I should look up what nullable properties actually do before I ask what this guy is doing it for. Nullable type values. Let's learn together. Represents its values of its underlying type t and additional null value. For example, you can assign any of the following three values to a bool: true, false, or null. An underlying value type t cannot be nullable value type itself. Okay. Any nullable value type is an instance of the nullable structure. You can do a nullable type value with the underlying type t in any of the following interchangeable forms: nullable of t or t. Interesting. This guy's gonna tear me apart, I'm sure, when he reads these comments, but I genuinely don't know. This makes more sense as to why it might need to be nullable, but... I'm sure I look like a big clown right now, but that's fine. Everything else seems to work. I mean, at least it compiles, which is good. And we got it to work, which is nice. I might just accept this as is and modify the things myself instead of making this guy do it. Because he says in his conversation here that... Oh gosh. He says here that he doesn't use Unity, which is fair. .NET Standard 2.1. And I'm in .NET Standard. If I go to my Unity. Oh, I just realized it's not picking up the browser settings window. Dinner time, good luck, thank you. Manja, manja. I am in .NET Standard 2.0. I don't have an option to change that. Let's find out. When did Unity start? Okay, looks like maybe I just missed the window here, because this is a post from October of 2019, and I'm stuck in Unity LTS 2019 as a clown here. have a library that uses .NET Standard 2.1, and now I see an error message saying I can't create a type from Unity. Backporting this library to an ETA. So now in 2020, they said we don't have an ETA on this. We still don't have an ETA for standard support. Okay. Did this ever get changed? Tweet 2001. Did this ever get resolved? Okay, in Unity 2021. Oh gosh, okay. I guess that's... Unity, okay. Net Standard 2.1 will be available in Unity 2021.2. Okay. So now this becomes tricky, because this guy is objectively correct in that his code is good and all, and it's following best practices, but I'm also just a caveman stuck in the Stone Age, and I'm using Unity 2019 LTS, and I don't want to budge on this, if I can help it. So I'm not sure what the correct thing is. All his other stuff seems to work, which is good. And it compiles, which is good. I'm wondering if I can just get away with being like, hey, can I dumb down the syntax just a little bit and then keep everybody happy? Or is that really holding everything back? That's a chore. The rest of it seems good. The way they implemented the await for everything is really cool, actually, when I was looking at it briefly earlier. They made an extension thing that... what's the best way to show this off? Diff here. Oh, and they updated that. That's good. And I think I need to update the README with some notes as well, but I can do that on my own. It's their async stuff is all with a task. They probably don't need to. Oh no, they do need to specify if it's a task. So they have async everything. It returns a task, which is the C# version of a promise. And they have a task completion thing. You run initialize, and then you make it do a task, which is cool. And they just did this for every single method. It's get statistics async. Cool. It returns a task with the data. And they made this thing where you can just asyncify get statistics with these two types. Super cool stuff. They did a really good job here, and I think this is good. Yes, if we go to here, I think I should be able to just jump, right? No? Yeah, so they've got a type of success, type for error, and then the thing that you actually want to do, and it will just asyncify it, which is super, super cool. I gotta remember to keep doing that for stuff in the future. I don't know what all this is for. I guess they need extra parameters. I didn't quite catch where this is used. But, I think my verdict on this pull request, after glancing at it, is... review changes, request changes. This all seems excellent. The wrapper method for async buying method is very clever. Organized, but okay. 'Sets out to support Unity. Until 2021, 4 years after well, 4 years after the standard was developed. 'What's the right way to phrase this? Is like people don't want to move on from Unity because Unity is like I want to say subsequent versions of the Unity engine just get worse over time, which isn't like completely true, but it's partially true. Okay, so sadly Unity also lives in the Stone Age and did not adopt .NET Standard 2.1 until Unity 21.1 2.0, a whole 4 years after. Can I link that? Is that like a thing I can do? I forgot what the syntax on markup links is. Oh wait, actually, I have an editor here. There we go. Yeah, there we are. 6. What do I call it? It was just WebSocket impl. Now the silver lining here. Let's see. Silver lining here is that there isn't actually much in this pull request, but on it. Few lines would appear to be syntactic sugar in WebSocket implementation. This can pretty straightforwardly be rewritten. Not.NET Standard 2.0. What's the word I'm looking for? Meet the requirements? No. Meet the... to meet what? What are we meeting here? Grew in 4, I guess. .NET Standard 2.0. Okay, I think then, yeah, that's good. So this all seems excellent. The wrapper method for asyncifying the callback-based methods is very clever and does what it sets out to do in a very organized way. This also seem to have done a better job implementing a default WebSocket than I did. I have a similar implementation which is called WebSocket impl, but it would frequently time out. I can happily delete that one and replace it with this one. However, the bad news is that this library sets out to support Unity Engine, LTS, 2019, and later. Subsequent versions of the Unity Engine introduce their own issues, so many people, like myself, stick with an old LTS version. Sadly, Unity also lived in the Stone Age and did not adopt the .NET Standard 2.1 until Unity 2021 2.0b6, whatever minor patch version, 4 years after the standard was developed. Now, the silver lining here is that there isn't actually much in this pull request that requires .NET Standard 2.1. There's just a few lines of what appear to be a syntactic sugar in the WebSocket implementation, and this can be pretty straightforwardly rewritten for .NET Standard 2.0. I've left comments on the few lines that I needed to change to get it to compile. Let me know if that's alright. Alright, I think that's that. And then one other thing I want to do is they want to pull it into main. I'm going to change this. I want to go to here. I want to go to here, actually. From main, we're going to make a release. Now, the question is this a 3.0? Or is this a 2.1? Because this feels like a big change, where we like add the ability to asyncify. But I also kind of just want to have big version numbers for breaking changes, even if it's like a huge update. So I think this is 2.1. Release. What if I called previous branches? Is there a way to look at previous deleted branches? You can just call it develop, that's fine. That's how I do it at work. And that way you have everything on develop. What the hell happened here? And then you can merge stuff into develop, and then eventually you can make a pull request from develop into main, like a release branch. Okay, so let's see. Let's edit this. Let's target develop. Hey, Ty. Welcome. We're actually probably kind of close to done here. This is not super involved. I feel bad I had to ask this guy for changes, but my version of Unity is ancient, and I do need to keep it supporting at least the oldest thing that I'm willing to use, because I'm sure other people are using older stuff. But it's pretty good. This guy did a good job. Then the other comment on here says, "Thank God, I was wanting to do it myself starting today. One of the things I still want to help with is making it available to NuGet. Another thing I've never used, because I only develop C# within this context of Unity, adding docfx and adding way more documentation. Which is, I think, an interesting complaint, because the documentation is just the VTube Studio documentation, and like all of my... Where is it? All of my docs for methods, if I like scroll way the fuck down here, should just point to, yeah, it's like, to get the see more info, go here, and then lo and behold, it takes you straight to everything you need to know about the function. So I think it's odd that they want more documentation, but I can't fault them for it. And then having the logger be based on iLogger is probably a good idea. I don't know why I made my own interface for this. It's not issues. This is an actual straight-up pull request. The issues are... One guy was asking for a NuGet thing, and this other one was a long time ago. I forget where we stood on this, but they wanted to use reflection and some other things, which I think I vetoed because I thought it would add too much overhead. This might be something to get back into too. But somebody actually just made a whole full-on pull request where they asyncified, or they rather made all of my async methods halting because they wanted to. It's like this. I've got my callback-based way of doing things because this made sense to me at the time, where you have your function, you say if it's successful, do the successful callback. If there's an error, do the error callback. Cool, fire and forget. But they wanted it to be able to be like halting, so you could say like, do this and wait for a response back. I don't really like that. I don't think this should be halting, because there are sometimes you just won't get a response for several seconds. But if that's what they want, so be it. They did it in addition to the existing way, so it's not a breaking change, which is awesome. Overall, I think they did a good job. It's just a couple things don't compile with the Stone Age version of Unity that I'm using. So what can you do? Not much. Yeah, it is nice. I just feel bad. I feel bad because, I, like I say here, I am using an old version of Unity, and you are using something that became best practices in 2018, but Unity did not adopt until 2021. So, sorry. Fortunately, it's a lot of stuff that's just syntactic sugar. I would use both, original usually. Yeah, I like the callback thing because I think it hammers home the idea that you shouldn't be necessarily expecting a response in any kind of timely fashion, and I think it encourages you to build app design in a way that can handle getting information back at any point. Especially in something like Unity, where if you do an await function, it will literally halt the rendering thread for as long as it takes for that line of code to execute. If you're doing something like a command line or some other non-visual, I guess, runtime, halting is totally fine. But for Unity, that's particularly bad because it will just stop the render thread. It'll stop accepting input. So if you have like a UI, you won't be able to click or scroll until you get a response. And granted, this is all running against localhost in most cases, so you will get a response in a very snappy time, unless there's some kind of network issue or some weird transient thing, or VTube Studio hiccups and eats your packet. So I think it makes sense for what this guy's asking for. They specifically say in their comment here, like, they don't use Unity. Uh, so, like, I haven't tested this with Unity, only outside of Unity. I at least made sure the changes are compatible with .NET Standard 2.1, as that's what Unity recommends, but unfortunately they are looking at the latest version of Unity. So hopefully I can get I can get some feedback on this. If they like really say like, oh, you shouldn't be stuck so far in the past, I can, I guess, cave and say that's fine. But the version of Unity that they are targeting is a whole 2.5 years after the latest one that I'm using. Granted, like, I guess I'll have to update someday, but newer versions of Unity all have their own problems because Unity, as it stands right now, is a very headless company. They have no sense of direction of what they want to do. They make features and forget about them, so lots of things get added that are half-baked. And especially going into, like, the Unity 2023 and beyond, there's a lot of worry that they're going to start adding, I don't know, like AI or, dare I say, crypto integration because it's the hot button topic of the week, and Unity is publicly owned now, or publicly traded, so they have to appeal to investors who think this stuff is cool. And so you just get a lot of, like, weird mud in your editor when it used to be at least somewhat nice. So I kind of want to stick to adhering to Unity 2019. But if they give me a lot of flack for it, I can, I guess, cave. Because it is a fair point to say that, like, you shouldn't just be only supporting things that are going to be coming up on 5 years old. I don't know. It can go either way, I think. But yeah, overall, everything else works. I only had to change a couple of lines to get it to compile, which is good. And then I can also look at making changes for this guy. So overall, pretty solid pull request. They did what they wanted to do. It runs. We tested it. That's cool. I am gonna now go find somebody to raid because that was my 1 hour and change of looking at a pull request. I sure do love GitHub. Okay. Let's see. Is anybody even on right now? Well, if you're here, I'm assuming you want to learn how to be a big nerd. So let's go here. I'm gonna send you guys to raid Scion Nyan 39. She is currently learning about Kubernetes on AWS, I guess, best practices here. So that's cool. Have fun with that. And I will catch you guys on Friday for Pokemon. I'm going to be doing more of my Ribbon Master quest, trying to get every single ribbon in the Gens 6 through 9. We're like halfway there, or a third of the way there. Until then, bonus era, and good night.